19 years ago today, this is going to make you feel old. 19 years ago tonight, I was at Madison Square Garden, Knicks Rockets NBA Finals. And the O.J. Simpson chase was on. I'm in the press room. And at the time, I didn't have a seat on press row. Usually, those are the print writers, the print guys who get to have the press row seat. So I'm inside watching on a monitor, and then we'll, of course, interview the stars after the game on SportsCenter. All of a sudden, there's two monitors, huge screens in the press room. And they had the game up on both of them. And then all of a sudden, one monitor's on the game, the other monitor is on O.J. Simpson and the white Bronco. Probably the most surreal moment I've ever had in covering sports. Because watching this, my bosses are then saying to me at the time, get reaction from people who know O.J. Simpson. So I'm trying to get reaction during an NBA game from people who know O.J. about what's going on. And then back then, you didn't have cell phones back then. There's no Twitter. There's none of that social media. And all of a sudden, I'm canvassing the room to say, you worked with O.J. or you know O.J. People did not want to talk about O.J. I will say this, that there was one person I spoke to, and he was a prominent broadcaster, journalist, and I said, your thoughts on O.J. Simpson. And he said, I'll talk to you. I won't talk to you on camera. And I said, okay. He said, he used to beat her all the time. And those words stayed with me throughout that entire process. Because this is somebody who knew O.J. Who said, I said, is he capable of doing this? What? And he said, first thing he said is he used to beat her all the time. And so whenever I saw that, when people, the jury let him walk, and I knew he was guilty. But, we can go into politics of why he got off, and, the jury, and, what it meant. And, it was just, justice was not done. And this is a person who had no axe to grind whatsoever, considered O.J. a friend. And he said, you know what? He would lie about it all the time. And we had told him about it. You got to get help, because he would do that. He would beat her. But this is 19 years ago. Yeah, Paulie.
What year was it? Was it about 8, 9, 10 years ago when you interviewed O.J. one-on-one?
Oh, my God. I'm sweating now. I was at the mothership. USC was playing in the Orange Bowl. Was USC against Iowa? Does that sound right? I'm down in Coconut Grove in Miami. I have this idea of interviewing O.J. and talking sports with O.J. Not one of my better moments, folks. So it had to be, I'm going to say, January of 03, I think. Is that right, Paulie?
Yep.
Okay, January of 03. I say to, the guys at the mothership, what about O.J. talking about USC football? Because, look, is he ever going to be charged for the murders? No, he's not. He's walked free. Okay, whatever. He was still one of the great football players I ever saw. And a USC guy, so I thought maybe he talks USC football. Maybe. I mean, in my grand scheme here. So I'd sit down with O.J. And he came in. He looked frail. I mean, he wasn't imposing. He came in with one other guy. That was it. And I remember my camera crew said, do we have to shake his hand? I said, no. I said, I invited him here. I will shake his hand because I'm inviting him here to do this interview. You guys don't have to. And they said, good, we don't want to. I said, fine. Do the interview, and what I don't realize is my body language is I'm leaning back in my chair as I'm interviewing him. So I'm just sort of like as if he's going to pull out a knife and stab me. For some reason, in my mind, I'm just sort of leaning back away from him. We shoot 30 minutes of an interview during the minutes where you change tapes. And we're just sitting there. I'm 3 feet away from him. And there's no conversation. Because I think he should have been in prison, and I think he killed those two people. So in my mind, I'm going, all right, I'm having you here to answer football questions. And he said, you think I did it? And I said, did what? And they said, killed those two people. And I said, yes. And then it seemed like there was 3 to 4 minutes of silence. Cameraman says, all right, we're ready to go. We resumed the interview. We got done. And then he wanted to talk about, the case. He wanted to tell me why he was innocent. And I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He said, you think I'm guilty? I said, it doesn't matter. And then he walked out. The guys who were my camera crew, they had worked on a shoot in Mexico with OJ prior, leading up to that. And they said that he was fascinated with the Navy SEAL knives. Fascinated with them. And wanted Navy SEAL knives before the killing. So one of those moments where you came back home and you just want to take a shower and just say, terrible, terrible mistake by me. But yeah. No, thanks for bringing that up, Paul.
Every year I do. Every year.
I know. You love hearing the story where he goes, do you think I did it? Pause. Yes. All righty, let's talk some football. How about them Trojans, huh?